The Legio Audax is a Titan Legion noted for its many peculiarities, not least that it lacked the traditional organisation and array of Titan classes available to the vast majority of other Titan Legions. Owing both to the rapid nature of the Legio Audax's founding during the Great Crusade and data corruption unleashed by the Xenos Empire of Zlasila, the Ember Wolves solely employed Scout Titans on the field of battle, with its principal strength consisting of Warhound class Titans. While this resulted in a Titan Legion possessed of a considerable lack of firepower, at least relative to the devastation others of its ilk were capable of bringing to bear, it did little to hamper the Ember Wolves' capabilities. Indeed, despite possessing a legacy shorter than 2 centuries by the start of the Horus Heresy, the Ember Wolves stood as one of the most well-known and often infamous Titan Legions in active deployment within the expeditionary fleets. The origin of Legio Audax lies in the early expansion of the Imperium. As the expeditionary fleets moved ever outwards from the Segmentum Solar, humanity encountered increasingly greater threats that began to strain the Imperium's capacity to counter. In answer, the Emperor commissioned the foundation of nearly a dozen new Titan Legions, tasking the Mechanicum's greatest Forge Worlds with producing a new generation of God Engines in short order. The Legio Audax was one such Titan Legion, born on the red sands of Mars and sent forth into the galaxy to annihilate the Mechanicum's foes. To facilitate the rapid creation of God Engines, the ranks of the Legio Audax consisted solely of Warhound class Titans, along with the void ships and landers required to transport them across the stars. Though conceived by the Emperor as a Titan Legion forever bound to the Great Crusade, and supplied by existing Forge Worlds, Mars held different intentions. Upon departure from the Red Planet, the Ember Wolves were accompanied by several well-supplied Explorator arcs equipped with the STC patterns necessary for the creation of additional God Engines of numerous classes. Mission directives stated that the Ember Wolves were to serve at the forefront of the Great Crusade until such a time when the ideal candidate for the colonisation of a new Forge World had been identified, upon which the rights of domain were to be established. This mission was never accomplished. A decade after the Legio Audax's founding, conflict with the Zlasila Empire saw the corruption of its STC patterns during boarding actions committed by the Xenos Void Singers. Though diligent retro-engineering efforts allowed the Titan to retain its capabilities to produce Warhound and other Scout Titans, all other classes of God Engines were lost to it. Censor records note an increase in the uncompromising and often brutal methods of war employed by Legio Audax following the war with the Zlasila, resulting in numerous condemnations brought against the Titan Legion. Eventually, edicts of censure were authorised against the Legio Audax, following the Lorin Alpha massacres, which involved the indiscriminate slaughter of numerous hive cities by unrestrained Ember Wolves Warhound packs. Numerous voices called for the complete dissolution of the Legio Audax following its senseless destruction during the conquest. Instead, the Terran War Council ordered the relocation of the Legio Audax to the training world of Bod, the de facto homeworld of the World Eaters Legion, and the indefinite suspension of the Titan Legion's right to claim a world of its own. Further to this, the Mechanicum refused to resupply the Ember Wolves with the STC patterns lost to corruption, solidifying the Legio Audax as a Titan Legion capable of fielding solely Scout Titans. Intended as an act of significant censor and dishonour, such decrees mattered little to the Princeps of the Legio Audax, who revelled in the animalistic anima of the Warhound Titan, favouring the pack tactics and cunning stratagems required to conquer larger foes. The assignment of the Legio Audax to Bot did little to temper its callous demeanour. Indeed, the frequent deployment of the Titan Legion alongside the World Eaters Adeptus Astartes Legion only escalated the brutality of its Princeps. The adaptation of the Ursus Claw, large harpoons originally designed for World Eater void ships, is but one example of the changes such a partnership wrought. Indeed, the close connection between the Legio Audax and the World Eaters saw the Titan Legion secure a Forge World in all but name. Following the relief of Sarum in the campaign that became known as the Golgothan Slaughter, the Forge World's tech priests pledged themselves to Angron, Primarch of the World Eaters. By stint of its association with the Primarch, the Legio Audax soon began receiving a steady supply of God Engines and munitions, and though protests were logged to Terra on grounds that the Titan Legion had circumvented its writs of censure, they were deemed unenforceable based on the Forge World's insistence that it supplied the World Eaters, not the Ember Wolves. Devoid of an official home, and scorned as animalistic savages by many amongst the Collegia Titanica and the wider Mechanicum, the allegiance of the Legio Audax lay solely with Angron. Thus, when the Primarch sided with Horus, so too did the Titan Legion cast off its oaths to the Emperor. The Ember Wolves' reputation for vicious assaults only grew during the Horus Heresy, the Titan Legion becoming infamous for its prolific use of ambushes. The most notable tactical deployment brought to bear by the Legio Audax was the deployment of Canis Maniples, more commonly referred to as battle packs, involving Warhound Titans equipped with Ursus claws, dragging unsuspecting god engines down before tearing the hapless machines apart.